Remember the before times? Yeah, me neither. It feels like ages ago that COVID-19 swept across the globe, turning our lives upside down. We were bombarded with news reports, case numbers, and restrictions. It was a time of immense uncertainty and fear. Lockdowns became the new normal. We swapped our work clothes for pajamas and our commutes for Zoom calls. Social distancing became a way of life. We awkwardly elbow bumped instead of hugging. It was weird, wasn't it? But amidst the chaos, something remarkable happened. We adapted. Humans are incredibly resilient, and we found ways to connect, to work, and to keep going. We learned to bake bread, we adopted pets, and we discovered the joys and pains of homeschooling. The world after the peak of COVID-19 is not the same world we knew before. It's a world forever marked by the pandemic, but it's also a world brimming with opportunities for positive change. Let's be honest, COVID-19 didn't exactly paint our healthcare systems in the most flattering light. The pandemic exposed cracks in the system, highlighting the need for greater preparedness and resilience.
Hospitals were overwhelmed. Healthcare workers, those brave souls on the front lines, were stretched thin. We clapped for them every night, which was nice, but they deserved more than applause. They deserved better resources and support.
The pandemic also laid bare the stark inequalities in healthcare access. People in marginalized communities, already facing systemic barriers, were disproportionately affected by the virus. The good news? We learned some hard lessons. The pandemic forced us to confront the weaknesses in our healthcare systems. It spurred innovation in telehealth and vaccine development. It ignited a conversation about health equity. Remember that time the stock market took a nosedive? Or when businesses shut down and unemployment soared? Yeah, good times. COVID-19 delivered a swift and brutal blow to the global economy. Supply chains, those intricate webs that connect us all, were thrown into disarray. Remember the great toilet paper shortage of 2020? Or the scramble for hand sanitizer? Empty shelves became a potent symbol of the pandemic's economic fallout.
The pandemic also accelerated existing trends, like the shift to online shopping and the rise of remote work. It forced businesses to adapt or die, leading to both innovation and disruption. The economic recovery has been uneven, with some sectors bouncing back faster than others. But one thing is clear: the pandemic has left an indelible mark on the global economy.
Let's talk about mental health, because this pandemic has been rough on our collective psyche. The isolation, the uncertainty, the constant fear, it's taken a toll. Rates of anxiety and depression skyrocketed during the pandemic. People struggled with loneliness, burnout, and grief.
Mental health services, already stretched thin before the pandemic, were pushed to the brink. The pandemic also exacerbated existing inequalities in mental health care access. People of color, LGBTQ+ individuals, and those living in poverty faced even greater barriers to getting the support they needed.
The silver lining? The pandemic helped to destigmatize conversations about mental health. It forced us to acknowledge the importance of mental well-being and to invest in mental health resources. Section 5, the rise of remote work. Remember commuting, traffic jams, awkward water cooler conversations? Yeah, me neither. The pandemic ushered in the era of remote work, and for many there's no going back. Millions of people transitioned to working from home, trading in their office cubicles for kitchen tables and living room sofas. Video conferencing became the new norm, and we all got really good at spotting each other's messy bookshelves and mischievous pets. Remote work has its perks like flexibility and autonomy, but it also has its downsides, such as blurring boundaries between work and home life, and the potential for social isolation. The future of work is hybrid, with a mix of remote and in-office work. The challenge now is to create work environments that are flexible, equitable, and supportive of employee well-being. Section 6. Technology to the rescue. If there's one thing this pandemic has taught us, it's that technology can be a lifesaver, literally. From telemedicine to online education, technology helped us stay connected, informed, and, well, alive. Remember those early days of the pandemic when we were all glued to our phones, frantically refreshing news websites and social media feeds? Technology kept us informed and sometimes misinformed during a time of great uncertainty. But technology's role went far beyond information dissemination. It enabled us to work remotely, to learn remotely, and to socialize remotely. It connected us with loved ones and provided a lifeline during a time of social isolation. The pandemic accelerated the adoption of existing technologies and spurred the development of new ones. It highlighted the transformative power of technology and its potential to address some of the world's most pressing challenges. Section 7. Social interactions in the new normal. Remember hugs, handshakes, packed concerts, and crowded bars? The pandemic forced us to rethink how we interact with each other. Social distancing became the new norm, and we all got really good at the awkward, should we hug or dance? We craved connection, but feared contagion. We navigated a world of virtual happy hours, Zoom birthday parties, and socially distanced picnics. It was weird, wasn't it? But we made it work.
The pandemic also highlighted the importance of social connection and the inequalities that exist in access to social support. People who were already socially isolated, the elderly, those living alone, those without access to technology, were disproportionately affected by the pandemic's social restrictions. As we emerge from the pandemic, we're relearning how to be social creatures. We're rediscovering the joy of human connection, but we're also carrying with us the lessons learned about the fragility of social bonds and the importance of nurturing our relationships.
Section 8. Finding opportunity in crisis. It's easy to get bogged down in all the negative stuff, right? But amidst the challenges and the heartbreak, the pandemic also presented us with opportunities for positive change. It forced us to slow down, to reevaluate our priorities, and to appreciate the simple things in life. It sparked a renewed focus on mental health and well-being. It highlighted the importance of community and social connection. The pandemic also spurred innovation and creativity. We saw an explosion of online learning platforms, telehealth services, and contactless delivery options. We witnessed acts of kindness and compassion as people rallied to support their communities. The world after the peak of COVID-19 is not a utopia, but it is a world where we have the opportunity to build back better. We have a chance to create a more equitable, sustainable, and resilient future. Section 9. A brighter future ahead. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The world has been through a lot, but we're still here. We're still standing, and that's something to celebrate. The pandemic has been a wake-up call, a stark reminder of our shared humanity and our interconnectedness. It's shown us that we're capable of great resilience, adaptability, and compassion. The future is uncertain, but it's also full of possibility. We have the opportunity to learn from the mistakes of the past and to build a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. A future where healthcare is equitable and accessible, a future where the economy works for everyone, a future where mental health is prioritized, a future where technology is used for good, a future where social connection is cherished. It's a future worth fighting for, and I, for one, am optimistic that we can create it together.